Hello everyone, this is Learn Something New Every Day with Brent Jankowski, and today we have crocheting. Yes, would you think a man or anybody nowadays would want to crochet? But yes, crocheting is something that I've done a couple times in my lifetime to give my mother, my grandmother a present for Mother's Day, their birthday, Christmas, something like that. Since it takes a little time, it's actually a more of a heartwarming gift, and they know you actually had to take some time to make it. Anyway, it's I did this like just sitting there watching a show, so you can see how if I'd have kept going, it would have turned it, been big enough for a coaster. I have like 3 different styles on there though that I was practicing, so that's really nothing. But first I'm going to show you the very, very simple basics that you need to know so you can at any time make a coaster. It'll be square. I mean, you could actually make a blanket if you wanted to go real big with it, like work on it for like 6 months or a year or something. But anyway, you're just going to start off with a slip knot. Slip knots are real simple, like for fishing or if you ever done any fishing or anything like that, you know how to make a slip knot. But 2 fingers, just wrap it around. Instead of tucking it in through and doing that, you just grab a piece of that string. Okay, you don't do like normal. You don't do that. Okay, that's not a slip knot. That's just a regular knot and leaving a loop on it. So you want to wrap it around your 2 fingers and then take a piece of it and bring that through, not the whole thing, just a part of it, you know what I mean? And that way you end up with a slip knot, so it'll move. Okay, it'll get bigger and smaller depending on which one you grab, So that's a slip knot. Anyway, so once you got a slip knot, you take your crochet needle. They have different sizes. Actually, I like the smaller ones. They're a little bit easier. This one is a 5.0 millimeter. This one's even still a little bit big, but I mean it'll work or whatever. So all right, you put it on there tight, not real tight. You're going to start off by making what's called chains, and that's this very simplest thing in crocheting. So you got one thing on there, you got your slip knot on there, you're all started. Okay, and you use yarn, by the way. So you got your crochet needle, hold it however it's comfortable for you, but I always hold the knot with my thumb, just so I have a little bit of control. Okay, what you do is you wrap around once, okay, and then you pull it through. That's one chain. Okay, so you just wrap it around and use the hook to pull it through. Okay, that's a chain. It's called a chain stitch. Now you want to do like however many of these you do right now is how long your project's going to be. Okay, so if you do 10 of them, your project's only going to be maybe 2 inches long. I did 16 and it came out to be like 3 inches long. So however many chains you do right now, that's how long that's how long your square is going to be. So, and then however many rows you do is how wide it'll be. So this is going to determine your length right now, or your width, depending on which way you want, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I'm going to do a bunch of chains here, but these are called chains. So if you look up patterns in a book and you're reading how to do something and it says do a chain stitch, you'll know what to do, you know what I mean? So you can look up other patterns and look up other things, but at least now you'll know the terminology. You'll know what they mean when they ask you to do something. So that's a chain stitch. The other thing is a single crochet. That's the other basic thing of this, okay? And a single crochet is very simple. All those chains that we just made, you don't want to make them too tight. Keep them fairly loose because you have to go back through those, okay? Now a single crochet is you just take your crochet needle and you go back through one of those chains we made. Just shove it right through the middle of one of those chain stitches, okay? And then you're going to wrap and pull it through one of the loops, wrap again, and pull it through both. And that's a single crochet, okay? And you're basically going to do that into every single chain that you made, you know what I mean? You're going to do a single crochet through the middle of every single chain you made. So you're going to wrap, okay, I'll go through another chain, You wrap, go through the chain, okay, wrap again, and then bring it through. Okay, just bring it through. 1, 2. I mean, it's a little bit tighter you do it, the harder it's going to be. So when you first getting started and learn how to do this, do it loose. You know, your first time, just to practice so you know how to do everything. Okay, so you wrap, go through, wrap, and then pull it through both things. Okay, and that's a single crochet. And you can see, you know, here's the chains that we made, the chain stitches, and now I'm doing the single crochets back through every single chain stitch. Okay, so you're just wrapping, go through the chain stitch, wrap again, pull it through both, wrap, pull it through. So it's fairly simple, but it does take a little bit of practice. And I recommend somebody getting a beginner book if they really love doing this stuff, because I mean, you can make sweaters, blankets, all kinds of stuff. But a simple coaster, a gift for, you know, a dad, a mom, a grandmother, or something like that, for, you know, whatever, you know, you can end up making something like this in a fairly shorter time. I mean, this much took me maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes after I really got like going. I had to start over 3 times because I did it too loose once, and then I did it too tight once. So, you know, just remember, you start off with chain stitches. First, it's a slip knot. Okay, slip knot first onto your crochet needle. Then you do 16 chain stitches, which is just wrap and pull it through, wrap, pull it through, and hold it whatever's comfortable. And you always wrap to you. Don't wrap the way I just did it. You always wrap to you, pull it through, wrap to you, pull it through. And then you do the chain stitches, and then you're going to do a single crochet into every single chain stitch on your way back, which is wrap through the chain stitch, wrap, pull it through 2. So you should, after you pull it through 2 of those loops, you should still have 2 loops on there. Wrap again, and then pull it through both loops, and then you only have 1 loop left. That's a complete single crochet. So you wrap, so now you got 2 loops, run it through the chain stitch, wrap again. Okay, so now you're gonna have the 4 loops. Pull it through both 2 loops, wrap, pull it through 2 loops, and you'll get it. You'll understand what I mean by following that, or following the beginning of what I'm saying. But you know, and you'll get it. Anyway, this is Learn Something New Every Day with Brent Jankowski. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope some of you try it. It's actually kind of fun, actually, just sitting there bored or whatever. Or I was sitting on the porch, kind of outside. It was a nice day, just messing around, tinkering. So hope you liked it. Have a good day.